The Flight of Huginn and Muninn, a tale of thought and memory. Every morning, as the golden light of dawn spilled across Asgard, Odin stood upon his high throne, Hlidskalf, and sent forth his two ravens, Huginn and Muninn. They soared beyond the borders of the gods' realm, whispering through the wains of Midgard, gliding over the mountains of Jotunheim, and even daring to circle the cold shadows of Helheim. They always returned before the sun fell, until one day only Huginn came back. His wings were tattered, his beak caked in frost, and his eyes, once filled with keen intelligence, were clouded with worry. Odin's lone eye darkened. He stretched out his hand, and Huginn landed upon his wrist, whispering, "Muninn is trapped in the land of the forgotten." A chill unlike any storm of Niflheim ran through Odin's body. The land of the forgotten, where even the gods feared to tread. The land of the forgotten lay deep in the mists of Niflheim, beyond the reach of time itself. It was said to be a place where memories faded into nothing, where lost souls wandered, unable to recall their own names. Even the gods could not reclaim what was taken there. Odin clenched his fists. "I have already given my eye for wisdom," he murmured. "But what is wisdom without memory?" Without hesitation, he leaped onto Sleipnir, his 8-legged steed, and rode into the storm-racked realm of Niflheim, where frost giants whispered in the wind and ancient things lay buried beneath the ice. As Odin neared the land of forgotten, a thick mist surrounded him. His vision blurred. He could feel something pulling at his mind, unraveling his thoughts, loosening the threads of his past. He gritted his teeth. "I am Odin, the Allfather. I am Odin, the seeker of wisdom. I am..." His voice faltered. His name felt distant. Then, through the mist, he saw him, Muninn. His black feathers turned gray, his eyes dull and empty, perched upon the roots of a dead tree. Odin stepped forward, but a voice coiled around him like a serpent. To take back what is forgotten, a memory must be given in return. From the shadows, Mimir emerged. The ancient guardian of wisdom, whose well Odin had once drunk from, whose knowledge even the gods revered. "What will you sacrifice, Allfather?" Mimir asked. Odin hesitated. To lose a memory was not like losing an object. It was to lose a part of himself. "Take my memory of Baldur's laughter," Odin said at last. Mimir nodded, and Odin felt something wrench from his mind. He tried to recall the sound of his beloved son's joy, but it was gone erased as if it had never been. But in return, Muninn stirred. His feathers darkened, his eyes sharpened. Memory flowed back into him. Odin reached out and whispered, "Never leave me again." But the mist did not clear. As Odin turned to leave, the path was no longer there. Instead, a river stretched before him, a river made not of water, but of whispers. It swirled with voices, forgotten words, lost names, the cries of those erased from history. ... Odin stepped forward, but as soon as his foot touched the surface, the whispers grew louder. "Who are you?" the river asked. "Do you remember yourself?" For a moment, Odin felt doubt. His own name felt distant, like a dream half remembered. But Huginn flapped his wings and whispered, "You are Odin, the wanderer, the seeker of knowledge, the keeper of runes." With those words, Odin regained his strength and crossed the river. Beyond the river lay a forest, but the trees bore no leaves, no bark, no shape. They shifted constantly, as if they could not remember what they were. A figure stepped forward tall, cloaked in mist. "Will you remember yourself when all names are stripped away?" the figure asked. Suddenly, Odin forgot everything. The knowledge of Asgard, the faces of the gods, the halls of Valhalla, all of it vanished. He felt like a newborn lost in an endless void. But then a single voice echoed through the emptiness. Muninn's voice. "You are Odin, and I am your memory." I will not let you be lost." With those words, the mist shattered. The forest faded, and Odin remembered. At the edge of the land of the forgotten, a final guardian awaited, a being as ancient as time itself. It had no face, no form, only a vast emptiness that stretched forever. "To leave, you must pay the final price," it whispered. Odin braced himself. He had already given up a precious memory. What more could be taken? "You must choose," the voice continued, "your thought or your memory." Huginn and Muninn sat on either side of him. If he gave up Huginn, he would lose his ability to think, to reason. If he gave up Muninn, he would lose his memories, his very identity. Odin closed his eye. He could not choose. So instead, he did something no god had ever dared before. "Take a piece of me instead," he said. And with that, the shadow reached into him, pulling away something small, a single thread of fate from his soul. It was a small thing, but it changed him forever. The path opened. The land of the forgotten let him go. As Odin rode back to Asgard, Huginn flew beside him, but Muninn remained silent for days. When he finally spoke, it was a single whisper in Odin's ear. "Even the Allfather cannot keep all that he loves. Some things must be lost to hold on to what truly matters." Odin said nothing, but he knew the truth of it. And so, every morning after that, when Huginn and Muninn took flight, Odin watched them with the weight of a god who had sacrificed more than anyone would ever know. Even the mightiest must sacrifice to keep what truly matters. Memory shapes who we are, but what we choose to remember and what we choose to let go defines us.